Older guy and you want to learn how to attract younger women, then pay close attention to this video because I'm going to show you exactly how. Now, firstly, older guys who are not very good at attracting younger women are actually unaware that they possess the characteristics and traits that women find attractive in men. They actually possess these naturally through age, such as experience, a character that will have more substance and depth due to life experiences, a greater understanding of who they are, composure, and general confidence. Now, the older guys who are really good at attracting younger women are very aware that they have these characteristics and traits that women are naturally very attracted to. And this actually will come out in their interactions with women. They will automatically, because of this awareness, they will automatically display a lot more high value, again, very attractive. They don't see their age as a problem, they see it as a plus. They see that the woman that they're talking to is very fortunate for having the opportunity to get involved with an older guy rather than a young guy who won't have as much experience as him, as wisdom or confidence. Now, it might sound really arrogant, and it is, but older guys get away with this. On younger guys, it looks a little bit cocky. But on older guys, it is actually quite attractive. An older guy who's kind of shy and unsure about himself, huge turn off. But the ones that are slightly arrogant and they know that they've got this kind of gift and they've got something different from the younger guys around them, it shines through. And it's an extremely, extremely attractive quality. Even though us girls don't want it to be attractive, it is. So the problems begin when older guys try to act like younger guys. So they might start being a bit goofy around girls, intentionally goofy. They might try and prove that they have vast knowledge of whatever's current and popular culture. And I always find that that comes across really awkward. It's a bit like, you know, that teacher that we all had that tried to be cool with the kids, awkward and very unappealing. So a lot of older guys are trying to do this. They're trying to be that young guy again that they used to be. And it just is totally unappealing. Remember, if you're an older guy, you've done that. You've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Use that to your advantage, that kind of blasé, yep, done it already, what's new? Come on, impress me, tell me something I don't know. That kind of attitude goes down very well with older guys. So don't try and act like the young guys around her. She has a lot to choose from and they have their own virtues. They have their own style of game, just like you did once. Your game has evolved since then. It's actually become a lot stronger. So embrace that rather than doing what all the younger guys are doing around her, okay? Now, a point I want to make. I tend to go for guys my age group or younger than me, but I have been very attracted to older guys, which proves again that game is a lot stronger than what our initial types are. I also have female friends that are very, very attracted to older men, much more than younger guys. And guess what? They don't have any daddy issues. A lot of guys will put it down to the fact that these girls have daddy issues. And believe me, the friends that I know that go for these older guys don't have any issues with their daddy. They have, for lack of a better expression, kind of normal family backgrounds, good, healthy relationships with their fathers. They're actually just attracted to these guys, as I was saying before, because these guys are not being dopey, they're not being silly and infantile. They're actually just very, very aware that their qualities are naturally very attractive to women and draw women in themselves. They don't even have to actually do much on top of that. So now I want to look at some of the confrontations that you might face. For instance, if a girl says to you, "You're too old for me," I don't want you coming back with something like, "Hey baby, I'm like a fine wine, I get better with age," or "Age is just a number," or "Hey, I've got more experience than these younger guys, you don't know what you're missing, I'm better in bed," etc. I don't want any of these old chestnuts. I don't want any of these kind of responses, because believe me, she's heard them before and she has a very good response back to them. Plus it makes you sound desperate and like you're trying to prove yourself. One of the best things that you can say to a girl, and this is what I give a lot of my older students, and they've said it's worked for them a lot, is this. In a very calm manner, with a little smile on your face, just say to her, it's not a question of difference in our age, it's a question of whether or not you're mature enough to become involved with me. This actually forces the girl to think a little bit, it disturbs the pattern, and it actually stops her from coming back with something rude. And it effectively shows your maturity and her immaturity. But my favorite one, if a girl says to you, how old are you, in a really precocious tone, rather than saying, why don't you guess, or I'm as young as I feel, I want you to say to her, old enough to be your father, what are you doing out so late? This sounds really counterproductive. I'm fully aware of that, but the results are incredible. Let me explain why this is a really good response to her statement. First of all, what you're doing is you are taking that potentially very sour moment in the interaction and flipping it and turning it into something a lot more positive, a lot more light-hearted. Secondly, you're breaking patterns. She can't come back with anything when you've said that. And third, you're showing her that you've got a great sense of humor. But the best part of all is that you're initiating those steps that will lead you to your ultimate goal, which is actually to present yourself as a challenge. So I've seen a lot of older guys talk to younger girls, use that line, and within 10 minutes, the girl is proving herself to him. She's trying to get into his reality. He's not trying to get into hers. She's trying to prove that, yes, she can handle an older guy. Yes, she is mature enough. Yes, she is kind of sick of all these young guys around her. The other thing, though, is the whole idea of your reality. This is something that I really, really can't stress to you enough. You are not trying to get into her reality. You're not trying to be one of the cool kids. You're not trying to be young again or anything like that. You have got your reality. You've got wisdom, you've got experience, you've probably got a richer life in many ways. Does she want to be part of it? Can she be part of it? Can she actually live up to your ideals? This is where the older guy, he can demonstrate value a lot more easily. It's a lot more congruent with his personality. So this is something you really need to capitalize on. So coming back with this funny kind of response, which actually maybe exaggerates your age even more, the age difference can really work in your favor. But just remember, does she want to be part of your reality? Don't be trying to get into her one. So whether you're young or old, remember, always use your age as an advantage. Don't try and be a completely different age group. Girls can see it and it turns them off. Be proud of your age, capitalize on it, and you'll see the differences in the responses that you get from women. And one last thing that I want to leave you with, and this is going to sound like a very extreme example, but who is the most attractive older guy out there? And there's quite a few, by the way, but it is James Bond. Now, James Bond, can you ever imagine him being played by a guy who's under the age of 40? They never have, and hopefully they never will cast a younger guy to play James Bond. Imagine James Bond being played by a 30-year-old or a 25-year-old. He would just come across really cocky rather than having that kind of smooth confidence. So keep that in mind, and I can give you a list of other older guys and roles in films that are played by older guys which would never ever be as appealing if it was played by a younger guy. So remember, don't let your age be an issue, whether you're young or old, and use it instead